Kevin James.
I've never seen.
Does that nigga still live in Queens? I don't think so.
He's still the king, bro. If you ever have some time, because they.
Oh, Kyle Kuzma just got dunked on. Nice.
I think Kevin James just blends in with the rest of the people at the Garden.
He does.
They can't find him.
Kevin James looks like
fucking Paul Blart.
There's so many fat white guys here. I don't understand.
He is your average Jets fan that you just happen to see in the mezzanine.
Yeah, wearing a dirty Mets hat.
Yep. Dirty Mets hat.
Bro. I'm telling you, he's Tommy from Staten Island.
They told the fan cam up to find Kevin James, and he was just like,
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. I walk like a champion.
So I think that's it for sports.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
All right.
Last thing before
So
All right.
All right. So So I was listening as I was writing my. Ironically, I was writing my article about the coming off the bench shit, but I was watching the Michael K show or listening to the Michael K show, right? And they had this random conversation about your wife being your best friend. Right, and I think Steve Harvey did something like this, and it got on Twitter maybe a few days ago.
This comes with a follow-up question.
Yeah.
Man.
So my question is, can your wife, or is your wife, automatically your best friend?
Automatically, no, but can they be? Yeah. I think your significant other can be your best friend.
Can we let the about to be married nigga answer, and then
and
then the other one that's what I'm saying, literally.
Is she in the room?
No, bro.
That influences the question. Because there was a dude that called into the show and was like, yeah, nah, because your wife has to be your best friend, yada, yada.
He was probably watching it with his wife.
No,
and she was like, call him right now.
Deadass, no, because he's like, yeah. And so I think it was Michael K was like, oh, is your wife, where is your wife? He was like, oh, she's sitting right
on the line.
She's sitting right here next to me listening. I'm like, yep. And that's why.
So... No, I mean not from the get go, bro. I think eventually, as time goes on, she's definitely one of my best friends. I have lots of best friends already, so it's I just she has become integral part where it's yeah, we have differences. She prefers the theater, she prefers Broadway theater stuff.
She prefers dub. You prefer sub.
Right? Actually, no. Okay, so we started watching Beastars on Netflix.
I heard it's good.
And she wanted to watch the English version. I was like, okay, fine, because I've watched it already before. So I'm like, because we watched Zootopia, and I was like, if you like Zootopia, watch fucking Beastars, bro. That's
right.
Way better.
If you like Zootopia, let's make it rated R.
Yeah, let's make it fun. Yeah. So she likes it. She likes the dub. She watches the dub. We were gonna start JoJo, but I think it's just too much.
It's a lot. That shit is a lot, bro.
It's too much. It's too much, bro. So I was going on. She but I think for me, a best friend for me is someone who has the same interests, who thinks ideologically the same way as I do. Mm-hmm. And when we started dating, our ideals were very much we're very in tune with each other. It was our interests that were different. So right. She's very much fan of the opera, Broadway stuff. She was very upset that we couldn't go to Broadway last year because we were supposed to before a pandemic. I think it might happen in a few years after our son is a little older, but after we can some people can babysit while we're gone. But she's very much in very much in the arts, very much into Sherlock Holmes, kind of English stuff where it's Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Who, shit like that. And so I was okay, and so I started going to things. I went to a rendition of Phantom of the Opera here in Dallas, and I was like, this shit actually fucking bangs. The songs are actually kind of cool. I was like, okay, cool.
Slaps.
I was okay, I'll fuck with this. Okay, cool. Or just I'll watch some Sherlock stuff. I'm okay, I don't quite understand the references, but this makes sense to her. So she will sit in the room with me and she watched the entire Attack on Titan movie, the recap movie, the whole 2 hours of it, and she was like, "This is fucking awesome. I gotta watch the next season." So we watched all season 4. She watched it with me, or she found out that there are Sherlock Holmes anime. There are a couple. There's a couple on Funimation. There's Moriarty the Patriot, which is the big one. and there's a couple others. And so like today she was like, hey, like I want to read the manga. Like, can you find it for me? And I was like, yeah, obviously, blah blah. And she's like, no, I want to like read like the actual like physical copy of it. And I was like, man, I haven't fucking bought manga in like 10 years. What the fuck? So I was like, because I illegally, you know, get everything from places.
Right.
And
Allegedly.
So, yeah, allegedly. So like I bought like the first 4 like volumes for her, and like they're coming in next week, and it's like, hey, like she's slowly like, and she's watching Beastars, you know, which is like kind of a niche anime. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like she's starting to get into my interest, and she'll watch like the Mavs with me sometimes. Like if I have like a baseball game on, she'll like sit there and just like
be around,
you know, read a book, but like, you know, just kind of, you know, kind of just be there, you know, but
be present.
like, but I think like she's like, we're so much more into like each other's things now. Whereas like because I'm a big like kaiju guy too. Like I love like Godzilla and like Gamera and like the giant Japanese monster movies. I found out that that Broadway did a King Kong show, and I was fucking pissed because I wanted to go see that, you know. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? I'm trying to see like, you know, like King Kong is like the greatest like American kaiju, and I was like, I gotta see this. Yeah. And it turns out they canceled it because obviously COVID. And I was like, man, fuck, like, you know, I'm gonna see that. So
your fiance is your best friend, bro. That's it.
So,
that's what I got from that.
Yeah, like she's like she's our best friend at this point, you know, like
yeah.
And on top of that, we're literally creating a life together. Like, you know, like he's gonna be weird as fuck because he's gonna grow up with like basketball and like fucking Doctor Who and some weird shit. Like,
but if he's gonna be
he's gonna be all over the place. I'm like,
he can fit into any lunch table.
Dude, he's gonna grow up like me. Like I was in stage crew and I also played lacrosse, and then I also would talk basketball with everyone.
I was like, damn, I feel so bad for you, bro. You're gonna be like, you're gonna love fucking Dragon Ball, but you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I can talk about fucking, you know, a fan of the opera, you know, with whoever. Like, so I'm just like, I don't know, bro. But yeah, I think eventually, like, it doesn't have to start off that way where your significant other is your best friend, but if it's real, like, it gets to that point.
Right. So. Yeah. I think for the most part, we're all in agreement that, like, the person that you're with is really supposed to be the person that you're closest to in terms of, like...
If you're really with them. If it's a real relationship.
Yes. Like, honestly, though. Like, if you're, like, outside of just proximity, like, if you're close in more ways than one, you know what I'm saying? So... Matt, you wanna like chime in or?
I mean, I don't really have a lot to add. I mean, I kind of agree pretty much with everything he was saying. I think, your idea of a best friend growing up kind of evolves when you develop that sort of different best friend relationship with a partner.
Yeah.
Because, like, in reality, like, you know, when we're growing up, our best friends are the people that we share the most with, as far as like commonalities that challenge us the least. But I think the fun thing about...
That's a bar.
Yeah,
wow.
And like I think
it really is.
The fun thing about like the best friend, the term best friend in terms of a relationship is like yeah, obviously you don't want to be like constantly challenged, but like having a best friend and a partner where like they're actually like kind of like what he was saying, like introducing the other person to stuff that they weren't previously interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like, you know, if you're like in high school or something, you're not if you're like into anime and somebody else is into sports, not like those things are mutually exclusive, but like as an example, you're just gonna be like, nah, fuck that kid, like he doesn't like what I like, you know, we don't really have a lot in common, and then you move on. But like in a relationship, it's super different. You're like more challenged, you're invested in it in more ways than one, and you learn from the person, and I think that's like a bigger
like
thing.
you connect on something separate than like what those interests will be, and because you have that connection, you go, I want to share the things that I like with them, and I want to actually put in the effort to do it, as opposed to like you said, where it's like some just like platonic friend, like, oh, you don't like what I like, all right, so we'll just talk about the one commonality that we do have, and we'll just leave it at that.
Like that kind of shit doesn't work in relationships, because like you know, that doesn't make sense.
Like
go ahead.
I've always thought about it. I feel like it's more like, I don't know, maybe the wording is different, but I feel like it's like on like a higher plane. Like you could be like, there's things like I could tell my significant other that I won't tell my best friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also things that I could tell my best friend or confide in my best friend that I can't, necessarily tell to my significant other. I think that's, I feel like that's just normal. I think it's like when you say like, oh, this is my best friend, I think it's like there's levels to it. where it's like, all right, so if you have a best friend from like childhood, and let's say you go like, this person for like 15, 16 years, and then, you meet a girl, all right, and then let's say you get married, right? It was like the best friendship never left, with, let's say Mark or something like that. Where it's like, all right, he's still gonna be my best friend.
Rocking with Mark.
We rock with Mark. And he's gonna be best man at my wedding, like he's my best friend, like et cetera, et cetera. I think it's just maybe it's, I don't know, for me personally, I think it's more of like there's like a higher plane. Like you have your wife or a significant other, right? A boyfriend, whatever.
JT talking good before he see her this weekend.
She's not gonna. It's gonna come out. We're not even gonna listen to it.
Kylie, we know you're listening.
I don't listen to the pod. So like if you have like your wife, right, and you have your best friend, I think it's like a tiered level type thing. So like if my wife told me to kill my best friend, damn, I kind of got to kill my best friend. Sorry, Mark. But if my best friend told me to kill my wife, I'd be like, nah, fuck you. Now I got to kill you. Right? So, but I don't know. I think there's a level of closeness that you definitely get with your significant other that you don't get with your best friend. But to me personally, I think I guess in terms of like, and I think it may be semantics, but when I think of best friend, I think of the people like my bros, like the person I have like that in common with. And then when I think of my significant other, it's something that's better than. How about that? It's something better than.
A better friend?
A better friend. It's
friend.
better. It's the bestest friend.
The friend that'll, do
the friend that doesn't mind doing the dirty work.
Yeah.
Not your bestest friend being a role player.
My friend.
Listen, what did I say?
Not everyone's a superstar.
Not everybody's a superstar. But yo, there's a lot of good role players in there, bro.
You, she doesn't mind being a paint beast.
Oh my
God. See, this is what we need a reggae horn, nigga.
Tell you, man.
No, that's
what are those other fun NBA 2K badges for your big man?
Stop it.
Brick wall.
A glass cleaner.
Glass. Oh God.
Wait, don't fuck with the sanctity of a 2K, bro.
What you say? You said a paint baby?
Paint beast.
Paint beast, bro.
Bro.
Yo, all right, baby. Yo, here we go.
I feel like that's.
Nigga said, oh yeah.
I feel like that's a very, very good way to segue into the type of anime that we're watching.
Oh my God, dude.
I would agree.
Throat baby.
I would agree.
Respectfully.
It's not respectful. If somebody's getting cold throat, baby, there's absolutely nothing respectable about what's happening.
There's no room for respect in that
There is
area,
no room
right?
for respectability.
It's like there's no room for being pretty in that area.
It's like I can respect you afterwards.
Yeah.
In the
Right
moment,
now,
though.
I'm gonna degrade you.
In the moment, though, you are. Oof.
Oh
Very
my
hard.
God, bro.
The Hall of Meat.
Beyond meat.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh boy.
And not to quote out of the box, but the wise people once said, "So long, farewell to you, my friend."
That dude didn't age.
Bro.
His daughter was on TikTok.
First and
and was
foremost,
like, yo,
did you see the TikTok of them doing a remake for that? For the out of the
like
box
with
people?
him currently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah.
It really warmed my heartstrings. And shout out to all of y'all, if y'all have seen Out of the Box, because that's one of my favorite childhood TV shows. And, this was a great episode.
This was a fantastic episode. This was a great time.
Yeah.
Recorded a little bit later this week. Episode coming out a little bit later this week, but it's all good. Well worth it.
Yep.
Ruben, aka at Red and Mavericks, thank you for coming on once again. You're really on this pod pretty much. Like the same thing. Like Matt got integrated. We're like, yeah, Matt's a part of the podcast. Like it just fully happens, Thank you again. I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you're gonna continue to be a part of us moving forward. It's gonna happen.
Just whenever y'all need me.
Yeah, guys, definitely check out his podcast, Hoops and Hefeweizens, from my Mavs people. Y'all probably, I can't even talk, I don't know other Mavs people, so y'all gonna hear about this from him. So definitely make sure to check out his podcast is Squish on it like full time now?
He's supposed to be, but man, his work, it
hospital life.
sometimes, but yeah, it gets in the way sometimes, but we try. But yeah, it's Squish and
Done.
Don Denham.
Yeah, anything else you want to plug or talk about?
Nothing, man. Just thank you guys for having me on. This shit's always, I'm telling you, man, this is I know people might listen to this might be mad at me if they come from our circle of the world, but this is probably my favorite podcast to come on. So I mean, besides my own, like like it's you guys are funny as hell, bro. Like, and the editing, shout out to Matt. Like
no. Shout out to John. Respectfully, I love Matt.
Matt has a sounding beautiful and makes the editing easy.
Matt great sounding, but man.
I give credit where credit is due because editing is not an easy job.
Yes, and shout out John, real life for editing, bro.
And JT just requested me on Instagram. I'm gonna decline it right now.
For the record,
and if you want his @ name, it's
for the record, Ruben.
Don't fuck.
Came at me first. he requested me first. Yeah. I was just following suit.
Man, y'all are fucking amazing, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you.
We owe it to you, bro.
The next time you're gonna be on, Mark Cuban's gonna be on with you.
We'll see.
That would be some shit. But that is it for us this week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We are at Saratobi Sports on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I got a bunch of TikToks to post from previous episodes, so definitely look out for that. And on our YouTube channel, go subscribe to that Saratobi Sports Podcast. And you guys can follow me on Twitter at Offended Narwhal, especially my Mavs Twitter people. I don't tweet often, but when I'm watching these games, them tweets be bangers. All right, guys?
Yeah.
Barely.
Big facts. You already know the vibes. Yo, World Wide West in the building because everywhere I go, I leave a worldwide mess. You can find me on Instagram, WorldWideWest_11.
You have the hen dog like Shannon.
Yo, and that nigga's a bad example. Nah, but real life, man. Just make sure y'all stay safe. All my Ramadan people, stay up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
No,
Ramadan.
Happy Ramadan.
Nah, deadass. It's just crazy. Yeah. But Black Lives Matter, as always, and be safe, y'all.
Oh, that was a lot right there.
It's just because he had to take more pauses than normal.
No, I got you.
It's been a long week.
Reasons.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can follow me on the Twitters, J_Thomas_24. I be tweeting about the Nets. Apparently, I be tweeting about the Knicks. I guess.
Shout out Jerry Ferrara.
Shout out Jerry Ferrara. Shout out Turtle. Shout out all the Knick fans that made an account.
Yeah, probably.
Magically in 2019. Which is the most annoying thing about Twitter. But and just about drink water and be nice to people.
What about the bartenders and servers?
Yep.
What about the nematodes?
Nematodes are people too, and women belong in sports. And that's what I'm gonna end with that.
Listen, for you guys who actually make it to the end of the podcast,
shout out Maria Taylor.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, I bangs with her too.
Yeah. Yeah,
for you guys who actually make it to the end of the podcast, I appreciate you because usually there's always just some shit that happens. So we will catch y'all next week.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down. I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion.